We can take away a lot of the pressures that exist right now in traditional farming. We can create the perfect environment that the crop needs to grow. These are the most pampered plants you'll ever meet. And we can get this food at the peak of its nutritional and taste value to people from farm to fork within 24 hours. The way a head of lettuce gets to your and my plates is it travels on average 2,000 miles. So by the time it gets to our forks, it's depleted of its nutritional value and it really doesn't taste like anything. Caroline, she was looking for consistent, meaningful work, for her clients. And she said, hey, if we get this off the ground, would you employ my clients? And obviously that resonated for me in a big way. My brother defined our lives in so many different ways. He was always going to need us, and we were always going to need him. I was an advocate before I even knew what the word meant. When we looked at that sliver of land, we really did scratch our heads. We said, what could happen here? And that's really where the idea to go up came from.
We've packed as much as we can into this space. So there's 5,000 square feet of growing area within this one room.
Here we were, 3 women, not from Wyoming, who wanted to be farmers. And none of us were farmers. So yeah, I think there was a healthy skepticism that was in the community.
It is a good conference room.
I think I can kind of remember somewhat saying, well, that sounds like cool, pardon me, but how the hell are you going to do that?
Yeah, exactly, like many people.
Like where are you going to do that, or how's that going to happen, or how do we do that? And you're like, well, let me come back to you in a little bit of time.
We needed the town in order to access the public money that we were targeting. The first meeting didn't go so well, but I said, let's have another one. And we continued. We worked on it. They listened to me. I listened to them. We won by 1 vote.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been here since it opened.
Yeah. What are you seeding right now, Johnny?
I was eating Toscano.
We are able to feed the plants through an irrigation system. So you can see on the end here, that's where our water comes through. And all of these trays are slightly canted so that the water just comes through using gravity, and it feeds all of these pampered plants, right? Exactly what they need to grow.
So you're creating the right temperature, the right humidity, the right nutrients, and really allowing for a crop to just concentrate on growing. Their only job is to be as nutrient dense and as tasty as they can be. We grow lettuce heads, we grow baby greens, and microgreens. Microgreens are greens that have just sprouted their leaves. Micro basil, micro arugula, micro wasabi. Really, the sky's the limit.
Nobody had really heard about microgreens except for the chefs, right?
One of my favorite products was the popcorn shoots.
Yeah.
I really like the sweetness and crunchy and.
So how many sheets are you able to process an hour now?
That's a great question. I mean, we are doing a few hundred per day and getting done by like 1 o'clock. So it's not quite 100 per hour, but it's approaching that.
We learned how to grow together. Our biggest challenge has been the pandemic. I mean, understanding how to grow while protecting our employees who are very vulnerable. People with disabilities have been shown to be more vulnerable to COVID.
So over there you can see our little robot that measures the humidity and the temperature within the growing environment. And that interacts with the whole computer system of the farm. So the misting will go off every 2 to 5 minutes to keep the humidity level correct for the plants that we're growing here.
Energy issue is really one of the main criticisms of vertical farming. And we've addressed that in multiple ways. As the grid gets greener, so will we. As we expand, we're looking at partnerships with renewable solar farms, wind farms. But we're offsetting so many other things, the food miles, the runoff, the damage to our water systems, the fact that in the drought that we're in right now, 90% of the lettuce that we all consume is vulnerable right now and might not even be able to make it to shelves. Our farm here in Jackson Hole is really like our lab. People want to know who's growing their food. Our farms are beautiful buildings that you can see and understand how we're farming, why we're farming, and who is farming.
At the end of the family farm?
I think it's the new kind of family farm.